What's up, Pirates? Wraith here with AwakenedTCG, and today we're going to be showcasing off Vivi. So this is a list that I've definitely been taking a look at going into this new half format, right? OP07.5 technically. The bans happened, no stage, no RP law, and so this deck actually gained a little bit of momentum. It's a very heavy control deck with a very high top end. So if you can, mitigate damage going into that late game, you can kind of just take over. And so let's go over this list and let's see kind of how it works. So this card right here, in specific for the Lucci matchup, right? Black Moria matchup, anything with KOs essentially. RP Law, if this was played, obviously it would just be able to get bottomed and it would have no effect. But it says once per turn, if this character would be KO'd by an effect, instead you may trash an event card or a stage from your hand. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 17. So we were on 18 events. So like the odds are that when we play this, we have an event in hand to trash if they decide to actually KO this with one of the effects. But regardless, we have our two 2Ks here with the Sanjis and these ducks. Anyways, let's get into our top end here. So we have a 10 cost Shanks that KOs up to a 10,000 power or less unit. Morias are gone. 8 cost Kid are gone. Green Zoro, the 9 cost is gone. Right, so all these big bodies are just getting destroyed with this character here. And then we have Shiraya, good into the BY matchup, just a good blocker in general. Bounce Kaido is one of my flex slots, as well as the draw Kaido. I think this is more for the Enel matchup here. We're going to have ultis, 2 ultis to be able to search, right? We got to rearrange as well as grab one card from the top 3, which is very, very good. Then we have a Borsalino, 7 cost, just for a momentum play. We're going to have 3 Gion, which are more 2Ks, good into Nami. It's kind of you just win the matchup. 2 puddings into so these cards are great into the Nami matchup, Enel, Bonnie, any BY Luffy, any deck that just likes to hoard cards and just use up all of their resources later in the game by just holding on to them. You're gonna go ahead and pudding and just get so much value. Boa, just a strong card in general. Allows you to freeze the unit and kind of stall in the mid game. And then just super defensive. We have 4 rad beams, 4 0 cost events, plus 2 blue ones, so 6 total. Then we have 4 happiness punches, and then for removal, we actually have Raging Tiger. So 4 of these, bottom deck, 2 6 cost or less. So good mid-range removal with the Borsalino, with the Gravity Blade. Even the Boa, I would say, is like good at neutralizing threats early on. And then late game, obviously, we have the Bounce Kaido, the Shanks, depending what we're needed for. And then obviously 1 draw Kaido, just you never know. If you run into an Enel, you can go ahead and play that. You kind of just win the match. So we're going to actually play this deck in ranked. Show you guys, a little bit of how it works and see if we can win some games. All right, so we are actually queued up for a ranked match now. While we wait for that, my buddy actually took this. All right, so we found one. My buddy actually took this deck to Pasadena about a month ago, and he ended up going X4. So he was X3 going into the last round, and I think at one point he was like 4-1, 5-1 with this deck. And so, if you have a nice run and get some good matchups, I think this deck actually might be a contender, which is funny to say because, in reality, you think of Vivi, you think of this deck like, oh, it's, it's not that good. Vivi can't swing. It's super slow, but it draws a lot. So we're going into an Enel first. I think we want to go second, or maybe we want to go first. Yeah, let's go ahead and go second. That way we can leader effect right away. We're going to want to see our Shanks here to blow up everything. So I think we might actually mulligan for that. And we mulligan into 3 Borsalinos. I mean, I'm not going to complain. We're definitely just going to leader effect pass. This match is going to be real slow in my opinion. And I think I just counter out. I don't have the ulti on 4. But I believe I just counter out every swing possible in my opinion. Shirahoshi, interesting. So we're just going to continue to, increase our hand size, draw every turn, counter out of every swing possible, and then, try to hit late game. So this is interesting. I don't think we actually counter out of this. We don't have 2/2s. We're kind of bricked in hand. We could radical into Sanji, but I don't know if that's worth it. I'd rather just lose a card, and that's fine. I think we're losing 1 card rather than 2 is always better. Not drawing what we would like to see. And that's okay. That's fine. I'm trying to think here. Do we want to play the Shiraya and swing with it or not? Because next turn we can just play the Borsalino. He could still Gadatsu here next turn, which would be kind of bad for us. Let's see what we can draw into. I think that's fine. We can just pass this. I'm not sure if there's a need to play the Shiraya. I guess we could force him to go Gadatsu. Force him to go Gadatsu here instead of playing a 7-cost Enel, which would probably be worse for us. So if he has a Gadatsu, I think we just give him some bait. Yeah, I think that's a lot better for us just because it'll slow down the game. And then if he swings 7 here, I think we're going to have to take as well. So he's going 5-5. Forcing us to give him a card. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to take one regardless. So if we had that happiness punch earlier, that would have been very nice. So overall, still not in a really bad spot. So the issue is we don't have, like we can gravity blade these two, but then he can play a 9-cost Yamato. He can play a 8-cost Katakuri, and we don't have a 10-cost. So I think our best bet might be to not even Boa because he's going to 9. He would just pop it. I think our best bet is to just, I wanted to say gravity blade draw, but unfortunately, that is not an option, unfortunately. So I think we do definitely need a draw here. I think like that's number one. We just need a draw straight up. So let's go ahead and we can't do anything else. But yeah, let's just go ahead and draw. Do we swing here? I mean, there's no reason not to. I don't know if I want to go to life yet. Maybe I do. Maybe I just swing at the life. I think we're in an okay spot here. Yamato is going to clear my Boa. I just wish we had a Shanks here. A Shanks would actually be insane. Because I know regardless of the top end that he starts playing, if I just play a Shanks afterwards, like I just win the game. And so these Borsalinos are kind of screwing us over, basically. Having to start with 3 of them in our opener is kind of bad. We could have Borsalino the Shirahoshi bottom decked. And not drew and kept 1 up for like a happiness punch, which would have been okay as well. But I just wanted to see a Shanks. Like I think that's going to be our win con here in this matchup, especially. Or even a draw Kaido. We would just have to swing at him once. But, we do have a 10 Shanks. What am I saying? So we do have an answer. So we have an answer. If he Yamato's here, that's perfectly okay. We can just, Shanks it and be in good waters. We'll be all right. We have a good amount of defensive capability, so it shouldn't be too bad. These one-off swings are really bad. That's our last actual physical counter in hand. If he swings 5 into 7, we're in really bad territory. This is fine. That's completely fine with me. Now we can just start being a little control heavy. We can even draw, and now we can pass it with 1 Dawn up, which is fine because our happiness punch is 3k total power, so we'd have to attach at least 3 Dawn here to make a 5k swing hit. We drew into some more counter, and we have the Shanks to really solidify ourselves and start gaining some momentum. Again, guys, this is ranked. This is not just a random match against a random player. This is ranked, and so, we're just trying our best. Trying our best here with Vivi. I think this deck really has something going for it, especially in the slower matchups. I think, it has what it takes to be a contender in the current meta. This list is by no means fully refined by me. I know my buddy that initially gave me this list, he refined it to a certain extent, but I would probably test this list out more and start making a little bit of changes here and there. So he's going Banish. Do I want to counter this? I mean, at 2 our what's it called? At 2 life, our Radical Beam is actually open, so I don't mind. Yeah, that's fine. Another Borsalino, you can have it. Like, You can have it. That is fine by me. And so our Borsellino is actually going to do some work here. Yeah, that's 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so Borsellino here is actually going to be super good. We'll be able to swing with it as well and keep one Dawn up for defensive purposes. Now we can start punishing. Him having to swing into 8k base body is going to be very rough. And so I think now we're in a spot where we could just start taking over. I think him delaying his big body drops, I doubt that he has not played them because he does not have them. I'm pretty sure he's just not playing them because he has no need to play them. Like the Yamato can't kill something. The ACOS had no real good targets. This is his first 10 ace turn, I believe. Not really sure what his game plan is here going forward. I mean, he's probably never seen a Vivi. And so now I think we can just guard out and save this. Like there's really no stress. Like we have so much cards, we can just save a AK base body like nothing. And then we just continue to punish. I think that's our play here. We just continue to punish, drop, and just over and over and just keep jamming attacks at him with so much counter in our hand. I think this is going to be over real soon. I'm just waiting for him to actually play something meaningful so I can just shanks it and really just checkmate him here. Like, so now in this situation, like, are you going to give me 2Ks? Or are you going to take the life, which is going to allow you to 9 cost Yamato and heal, 10 cost Rush Ace and heal, or not, right? And so it's like, if he does the latter, which is take the life and play a body that can heal, you can go ahead and just 10 shanks it. You have the counter ready to go. I'm kind of sad we only have one. I would like to have two in hand. Because if he goes back to back, we'll go back to back as well. But just having the first answer and him delaying playing these big bodies is actually enough. And so I think you never give me 2 cards here as Enel, in my personal opinion. I actually run 2 puddings in this deck as well. You guys saw at the beginning. I have not seen them. I would have been played it. But, you know, that's fine. So he is going to give me counter, which is very interesting. I think as an Enel, you probably just want to take the life. But he knows if I place like another big body and then I can swing 3 times, he could potentially be in some hot water. And so I do not blame him. And he is swinging at life. Interesting. I think we just give him a radical. Let's be efficient here. There's no... Oh, interesting. Okay, we just give him a life. Like we're in no means in any bad particular spot. And so low key, I think we just shanks. Yeah, we have to. We don't even need a swing here, I believe. I mean, let's put him to 1, right? There's no reason not to. There's no triggers he can hit on me here that would mess the game up. He can hit a beige. He can hit... I'm trying to think what the newer Enel lists are looking like. Ashura Hoshi doesn't really help him here. We actually don't have counter for our units, but that's completely fine. Putting him to 1 and forcing him to use all his Dawn on like a Yamato wouldn't be too bad. I think the biggest thing here is if he plays a 10 cost ace, one of these Borsellinos is dying. I do have 1 0 cost event, so scratch that. I can just 0 cost event. But if he rushes my life, goes 5 at life, 10 with a rush ace at my life, it could get rough, right? I'd be at 1 life, and I kind of would be forced to go for game. Luckily, I would have 4 swings because I could play a body, draw, pass. Don't have a blocker, which is kind of worrisome, but we should be okay. We don't have a 2K for this, but we know he's just going to Yamato. But we would really like to stay at 2 life here because going to 1 is kind of sketchy. Interesting. So he's playing a Shura Hoshi blocker. Okay. I was not expecting that. And he goes Raigo. Okay. Well, we don't need a 10 cost anymore. We can just go ahead and Boa. And draw. We'll stun. I mean, the stun doesn't really matter here. Let's go ahead and draw, make it active. A Shiraya. I think that's a good card. We will keep 2 Dawn up here. But for the most part, we just want to crash our hits into him. If he takes, we swing again, and then force him to block. So he should be able to relatively easily just take this one, take the next one, and then just block, lose no cards in hand, play a heal next turn, and you should be fine. But unfortunately, maybe he doesn't have no big bodies. Maybe I'm just like thinking he has them but doesn't want to play them because I'm not giving him anything to play him off of. But he just gave me 3 cards to counter that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he just gave me 4K counter with 3 cards. So very unfortunate. I think we just have this one in the bag here. I don't see a way he can come back. I mean, he's gone through 2 Shirahoshi searches. So you would expect him to actually have some big bodies in hand. Maybe he's running like a different list. I've seen 1 Big Mom. That's about it. So very interesting. We have not actually seen any big bodies. No Yamato, no 10 cost Rush, not even a 7 cost Enel or 8 cost Katakuri. It's been 1 7 cost Big Mom as his top end. I'm not even sure if you actually run that anymore. Oh, and he actually got a beige. So, I mean, he got the best of both worlds, right? Got to keep his blocker, and he hit a beige. And so, luckily for us, we do have 2 Dawn open. And so, even if he tries to, eliminate one of our units here, we have the counter power in hand. If he goes big, we have the Shanks to back us up while we're still continuing to pressure that life. And so, I think this is one of our better matchups. I don't run any 6 costs to get rid of their big bodies because I'm just running 4 Shanks, right? That does it just better. And so, as long as you, in this matchup in particular, mitigate that early game damage, Enel's a slower deck. You're not going to take too much damage anyway. But I think for the most part, yeah, just mitigating early damage and then seeing the right top end is going to secure you a lot of wins. So that's why Nami is good into this current meta. Just the meta since RP Law got banned has been super slow, and so a deck like Vivi is definitely going to take advantage of that. And so okay, so he's going to 10 cost here. He's in a 10 cost. I don't think I need a happiness punch. I can just give him a 1K and then we'll take the 10. We'll take the, depends on what he's, yeah, I think we just take the 10 because we're just going to kill the ace here. And do we 1 2 3 4 5 6, or do we give him 2 events? I think we could just give him 2 events to be safe, right? That way we can 10 cost Shanks and not have to worry about dying. So let's start swinging here. 1 2 3 4. We're gonna need 4 swings. Another beige? No. We're most likely gonna just 10 Shanks here, but in a situation where I could potentially like blocker, do something else. A Frankie, that's okay. He is going to block. Interesting. Yeah, we'll just do that. Now we don't have that much counter in hand, which actually worrisome. This might have been a misplay on my end. Luckily, he needs 3 swings to get through, and those Shirahoshis are going to take up at least half of his Dawn, so his best capable swings would be something like 6, 7, what is that, 13? So 6, 7, 7, right? And we can counter one of those, so we are actually okay. But otherwise, we would actually lose. So knowing we can do a little bit of math and knowing that his swings won't be anything greater than a 6, 7, 7 means that we're safe, right? Because we can just block the 6K by giving him 2 1s. So regardless, that was a little bit sketchy because of that Frankie trigger. But regardless, if we just do the math really quickly, then we know it's all gravy. So the way I did that is he needs 3 swings to end it, right? The 2 life, and he needs the Shirahoshi and leader, which is 0, because that's a 0 power, plus 2 5K powers, which is 10K total, and then you have 10 Dawn, which is another 10,000 power. So 10,000 plus 10,000 is 20,000, and then you have 3 swings to distribute the entire Dawn for, and so you do 20 divided by 3, which gave me to my conclusion. And so he's hoping that I take this 5 here, because then he can just split his Dawn between Shirahoshi and Enel, which would be a a 7 and an 8k swing, but unfortunately we have a 1k in hand. We're just going to go ahead and give it to him. And at this point, if he does not like Rygo double blocker, I mean, I think he is just cooked. But yeah, this deck, hopefully I'm showcasing it well. We'll do one more match. I think this deck has a lot going for it. I'm not sure if this list is fully optimized, like I said, so don't get on me about that. And shout out to my buddy for this list. Very interesting deck list that I wanted to try. And so, okay, he's going to try to live another turn, but I think it might be a little too late. We actually have another Shanks. We have another Shanks, but we would be in the same position. I don't think we want to risk it. We'd be able to clear these two. I think this is just one of those situations where we just swing out. We swing out, and then we have our backup here with our Shariah, where we can play the Shariah. We can leader effect and get an extra swing off. And so he countered out the 8, which is fine. We still have 4 swings to go, and so he's going to go down to 3 cards in hand. As long as this 8 goes through, this 12 goes through, we should be okay. We probably want to swing the 12 regardless. And then he's going to have 3 cards in hand, so if we just do a little bit of math, takes this 12 with 3 cards in hand. We're going to summon this. It's going to be a 5k base plus 7, which is going to be 12k. 3 cards gets you to 11k max, and that is going to guarantee us the win. So hopefully nothing crazy happens here. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and play the Shariah. I forgot I do have to spend 2. I actually do have to spend 2 in order to get him to attack. And so potentially I could have lost. I did the math a little wrong. I forgot I have to rest 2 to get him to swing. But GG's, we got that game. And let's go ahead and get into one more. All right, so going into our second match here, we have a Perona, which is very interesting. I think we want to take second just to delay his curve a little bit. Ours is going to be decent. I think this hand is not as good as I would like. So this is a bit better, a little bit more options. We can start drawing. Our boas are going to be pretty good. It's going to be out of that threshold where he can rest. Our ores is okay because even if he KOs it, should be in range to save it. And so, yeah, I mean, he's going to be drawing a ton, which is definitely going to be unfortunate because he's going to be seeing the cards that he needs. But that's fine. That's fine. I mean, the more he uses his searchers, the less Dawn he has. The more cards he runs up, I run pudding. And so, you know, he can just keep using these cards up. I'm just going to continue to draw. Yeah, he's just turbo drawing. So, and then he's going to use another Otama. I don't know, just... we actually don't have counter in hand, so we're going to take this, which is very unfortunate. We actually have no active counter in our hand. Let's see here. We'll freeze. I think it's always the boa here. Just to get a unit out on the board. We can freeze. It doesn't matter. We're bottom decking one of the searchers. So, I mean, we can start getting some big bodies onto the board. One swing, and then our draw Kaido is active, which is going to be very helpful. He's going to rest it. Ryuma. Yeah, that's fine. Now I can just 7 cost, right? What other cards does Perona run that I could ever use this on? 6. We're going to go ahead and block that. Yeah, we can just 7 cost event and be fine. Bottom deck 2 cards that he can't use. I mean, this is another showcase. I think that's going to be really good. I haven't actually played into a Perona, so we're just doing kind of basing our moves on what we feel is best, which is fine. And like he just played a raw Ryuma off just with his Dawn, like, you know, popping nothing, just playing it raw. Now we can go Borsalino and draw next turn, and he's just playing units. He's just trying to get cards out of me. I think we have the happiness punch here, which is unfortunate. I didn't want to use a event so early on, but I mean that's fine. you know, we just want to delay aggression. And then we can bottom deck this. We can go ahead and swing into the Momo. And like at this point, I think we're already starting to gain an advantage. Like his Moria here is just super useless. Like he can play a soldier and a Momo with his Moria. And guess what I'm doing with his Moria? I'm going to just slam a Shanks on it. Right. It's not in my hand, but obviously that is a card that I do have. And so that's his third Rahuma he's seen. That if that's not a high roll, that I don't know what is. We do have another Borsalino though. So we have the answer to, yeah, keep searching. That is okay with me. Do I want to give him 2-1s here? I think that's fine. Bottom deck, you're not getting no use out of that, buddy. And then we'll swing into the Searcher. You know, overall, I think we're in a good spot. If this Borsal is here, I'm able to swing into Life, which is going to activate my Kaido, and then I just draw Kaido. Force him to use, you know, way too many resources. And if he continues to draw like this, like once that pudding check clears, like it's over. Like the game's over. So I think this is one of the other matchups where Perona is a slower paced leader. Can't really flood the board until 8 costs, but like the way my deck operates is like I'm not giving you an opportunity to trash cards. So unless you're running tech to trash cards, you're not gonna have good Morias. And so look at his Moria right now. He's just a Momo into a one-legged soldier, which is honestly horrible. That's honestly that's a horrible Moria. If I had the Shanks here, I would go absolutely crazy. Maybe I can top deck it. Unfortunately, they're not top deck it, which is fine. But I think I do want to draw Kaido here. Swing into Life, draw Kaido. And so he countered. Which is going to switch up our turn a bit. We're going to be able to stun the Moria, bottom, draw on top of that. Oh, we found our pudding. And then we can go ahead and not give him any cards. We can just swing into... let me think about this. Yeah, there's no need to give him any cards just yet, right? We're already starting to separate ourselves from him. Giving him an extra card is not going to help us. And threatening that pudding every turn is really, really good. What is he doing? Giving plus 1,000 to the leader, -1 to the Boa, which is fine. Does he have the 4th Ryuma? Yeah, he has the 4th Ryuma. Okay, so I mean, yeah, no, it is what it is. It is what it is. And he's drawn again, so interesting. I think we can take this. I think we can take this and be okay. That's fine. And then we'll give him a 2K. So we have another Boa. Let's see what he does with this swing here. If he takes, we pudding. Yeah, I believe we just pudding. Stun the Moria. Bottom the Belmir. Draw Kaido's tempting, but I don't think that's the play. Like, we can get 2 resources out of him, so we'll stun, bottom, pudding, and we'll pass. I think that's fine. I think that's completely okay. So he's in a... There's no way he has another Ryuma, right? X-Drake? Yeah, X-Drake, 5 down. That's X-Drake. Which is fine. Now I can draw Kaido next turn. I thought I had already bottomed 2 of the Ryumas. Maybe he's just searching and drawing so much that he's already seen them to the top. I'm not too sure, to be honest. He has done You Can Be My Samurai 3 times already. Unfortunately, he has no cards in hand. 6K. We don't have a 2K, which is unfortunate. We'll just take that. All right, we found a 2K. Nice. We found a 2K. This drop 4 is about to go stupid. We can Gravity Blade. But I think 10 cost is just the safer option. Reduce the aggression. That's perfectly fine. We just go draw Kaido, and then our next turn is going to be a golden. We pass. So we don't have Dawn to use this. We have 3 0 cost and 2 official dead cards that we could use. Obviously using that Borsellino first, Shariah second. Maybe hold on to that Gravity Blade. So I can 0 cost 1k. He's going to have 7 Dawn left. 7 Dawn between these two is 3 and 4, which is 9, 10. So it's 9, 9, 10. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give him a 0 cost and a 1k. And then I just have to counter out 1 more of these. So he's going another 8, 5 Dawn left. He can go 4 Dawn here to 10, 1 Dawn here to 10 as well. So 10, 10. We're actually, are we dead? No. A 10, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so we can take this one. Do we use this? Is it plus 1,000 going to 6? If he goes 10. No, we don't use it. That's fine. We'll just use 2 0 costs here. Do I win next turn? 1, 2, 3. No, I don't have a 4th swing. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. 11, 11. Do I counter this or do I take it? 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. His next swing is going to be 11. If I do 2 0 costs, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, which would not get me there. So I have to guard out of this one. We'll go Happiness Punch, and then we'll go 0. I think we have the Raging Tiger. We have the Raging Tiger, which is very unfortunate. If he has like a Sabo here, it's just cooked. Borsa, yeah, that might just be cooked. Because we're still forced to take this, which is very unfortunate. Go to, yeah, so no. That trigger would have been really nice earlier. We actually don't have any plays in hand. We're probably just gonna draw, see what we get to start. Okay, another defensive event. It's not bad. We're definitely just gonna swing into his units. We can't afford to have that many swings. 1, 2, 3. We got to keep 3 Dawn up, so we can use 8. So we can go. 1, 2, 3. That's 7, 8, 8, 9. We can go 8, 9. Let's force him to have a 2k, right? Because if we go, we don't have a blocker, so that's gonna be 19k. Can we even block out of 19? Might just have to be 16. Like I might just be forced just to kill the gecko instead of swinging with the pudding. So if I go 2 on pudding, I go 3 here. That's 9, 10, 11. I think this is our best option here. Yeah, that's fine. 8, 9, 10, 11. And so we force the kill on the Moria. We're going to have to defend out of an ungodly amount of swings here. I don't even know if I have it. I probably don't. But if he doesn't use his Dawn wisely, I definitely can catch him off guard. So, I mean, he's given me, so far, that was a good swing for me. Let's see what he does. Another 7. It's low-key another good swing for me. Now, if he shoves, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know if I have it. I don't think I do because I have the 0 cost. Yeah, I don't. Oh, that was so close. That was unfortunate. I did not have the Shanks, man. I did not have the Shanks. If I have a Shanks early on to get rid of that first Moria, this is a completely different game. Unfortunately, I didn't draw the Shanks, and I run 4, and I draw a lot. But unfortunately, that's how some games go. But I know for a fact that if I have a Shanks there to counter out that Moria, and his board is just these 0 cost events, and now I have that Shanks, oh, I just blow this game out. Just blow them out, literally. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the Vivi gameplay. That is going to be it for this video. I dropped a Patreon guide on how to counter attacks, when to counter attacks, how to protect your board, when to protect your board. Basically countering out of swings in general, whether it be your life or characters. It's a free guide on my Patreon. Go ahead down in the link in the description. It'll be the first link. It's free. It's free. Just have a Patreon account and what's it called? Subscribe to my Patreon for free. You can get it. All you have to do is click join. You don't have to pay anything. It is a free article to read. If you are a beginner, an intermediate player that's looking to get better, I think this is a real good article. Kind of get your brain working. It gives you some ideas, some fundamentals that maybe you weren't thinking about. And so it gives you some great ideas that you can work on and, just improve your game in general. So go ahead and check that out. Thank you guys so much. I streamed yesterday. I'm going to stream later today. As I drop this video, I will be streaming. So go ahead and go down the link in my Twitch. I'll be streaming on Twitch as well. Thank you guys so much for all the love you've been showing me. I'll be going crazy consistent with the content. So thank you guys again so much. I know it's been a week, but I was dealing with some family stuff, and by that I mean all good stuff. By the way, I had some family come over from Mexico, and they were here for the last couple of weeks, and so you know how it is. They hadn't been in the U.S. in I don't think all their lives, so they got their visas, and so they were here visiting on vacation, so I had to do a lot. But regardless, we're back on the content grind. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I'll see you guys on the next video. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.